been to Australia 3 times in the last 12 months. 1 Foot World Cup, 1 Foot World Club Challenge, and now this England Knights tour to Papua New Guinea. Brisbane's a great city with great rugby league heritage, and this would be our first stop in our preparation for Papua New Guinea.
Steve Blakely, physio.
Adam Rowland, physiotherapist.
You still feeling jet lagged, Blakers?
Sorry, mate.
Still feeling jet lagged?
I'm not too bad. I slept well alright last night. I went straight through. So, night before I had a bad one.
Yeah, I'll say I kept waking up.
I woke up at 2:30 on the first night and I couldn't get back. But I went straight through last night. Feel alright today. It's after that big training session staff did yesterday.
We're in a room with your little iPad out.
Yeah,
like you look
yesterday. I looked like I knew what I was doing, didn't I?
Like you won a competition to be with us.
That's best bit of banter you've ever come up with since I've known you. A typical day for us is me and Adam will have a chat before training. We'll go through the team. Anyone who's we've seen the previous day, where we're up to with them, what our thoughts are. Anyone who's contacted us overnight, and then first thing in the morning, the guys they'll do the markers with Adam, the S&C guy. We get all the markers together. We do all the screening testing, and then we'll catch up with the players to find out who we've treated and what the level of progress has been, and then from there we'll go in to assess them and take them from there. The screenings we've got at the minute, we've got the wellness tests, we've got the hydration tests, we've got the sit and reach test, the knee to wall, the groin squeeze, and all the information there gives us basically is like, as a player tightened up from the previous day's training, what kind of condition they're in. We'll kind of review those with the previous day's markers to kind of highlight any kind of issues. Obviously the wellness scores there, if somebody's suffering particularly from a lower body soreness point of view, that'll be highlighted, and then we'll go and catch up with that player and find out what is the actual issue with them.
For example, if it was a muscle injury, a muscle overload, we call them sort of myofascial, sort of a low grade overload. We'll be looking at hydration would be key for that, because if you're not hydrated, the thought is that your muscles aren't as pliable and makes you more susceptible to those kind of injuries. And just on the markers for me as well, the way that I look at them, we think like, it's an adductor squeeze or you're just looking at adductors. It's not. We look at them from a very generic picture. So I look at those as all those markers look at stress to your system, to your whole body. So it's just showing us how your whole body is responding to load. So it could be, stress can come in many forms. It's not just the training stimulus, it's whether you're not sleeping, it's the psychological pressures of playing and everything, it all fits into that. So although we look at like knee to wall as a range of movement thing, we're looking at the whole picture, you know, not just one thing in isolation. Post training again, I think it's always really important. Like, people just think you're standing there chatting on the same spot, watching the training session all day. But you know, obviously we do chat, but you know, you've got to get to learn to know your players inside out. You know, it's not only on the bed, you're watching how they move. You can see if they're sort of compensating in training. So we're watching exactly how they've been throughout the training session, seeing if they're struggling with any aspects of training. It might be deceleration, which could be quite a common one, acceleration or change of direction. And then following training, if we feel it's appropriate for them to fully train, which generally speaking, you know, they shouldn't be out there if they can't do the large majority of it. We'll look at how to best manage that injury for the next day. So, for example, if it's something that's still slightly inflammatory, you know, we'll shut it down, we'll put ice on it, we might compress it, we can use stuff like the game readies and recovery pumps. There might even be some sort of not too deep soft tissue strategies, some like lymphatic drainage stuff to encourage the lymphatic system to get rid of all the inflammatory sort of debris around the injury site. Yeah, so it depends on the particular injury, really.
We'll start with Tom Davies. Obviously, he had a little bit of a tight calf from last Saturday's grand final. He came to us after the game and said he could feel it a little bit, but he wasn't too concerned. He managed to get through training yesterday with no kind of issues, and then just after training finished, he come to me and said, I could feel my calf a little bit, but you know, he's happy enough with it. So we got him back to the hotel, and then we started checking him out from there.
So the movement's fine, it's more like we just want to stretch it really.
It's just when you're stretching it?
Yeah.
Did you do those isometrics yesterday?
Yeah.
You felt?
It's like 4 sets of 10.
Was it like down there?
Not so bad.
Not too bad. Is it getting up about here?
Yeah, it's more like...
Probably.
Right in there, really.
Is it referring up here or not?
Yeah, a little bit. It's just in and around it, right where you are now with your thumb.
So Oliver Holmes, he played for the full team on Wednesday in the international friendly v France. I think he played the full 80 minutes of the game, and in the game he got a bang on his knee. But as typical rugby players get lots of bangs on the knee, he didn't think it was much and didn't report it afterwards. And then he's approached us after the flight and realised his knee's swollen up a little bit, and it was quite sore. Looking pretty good, but you can just see where it's bruised up, can't you? Just ever so slightly, a little bit of, like, you probably can't see it. I don't know where the light, but it's definitely there. And just tense that quad up, sit like there.
A lot better than what it was. You can still feel it a little bit, just in that same area, just around there, but miles better than what it was.
And in terms of fitting that in with the coaching staff, I like to be sort of quite proactive myself, because you know, rugby league players, for me, they pride themselves on being able to go out and play, and you know, when they're not sometimes 100% fit. But yeah, that's rugby league, isn't it?
I have an issue with vegans who eat things like avocados and quinoa. They're the vegans I have issues with. I agree with vegan and eating local produce. I don't agree with being vegan and eating quinoa and eating stuff that you have to source from the other side of the world. If you eat local produce and you only eat what's like nearby and doesn't damage the environment, then that's a really great idea. But the problem is it's when you...
Come on, start this vegan rant again.
Don't finish what you had said.
I do think you should finish this off now.
Yeah, you started it, you've got to finish it.
I felt like it was on question time or something when somebody gets up in the audience.
Ain't no
Come on, rationale. Just give us a 20-second synopsis on vegans.
I don't have an issue with vegans. My issue is when you eat food that's not locally sourced, you're causing as much damage to the environment and for populations the other side of the world as you are for animals and other things, and I do have an issue with that.
So avocado and quinoa?
Avocado and quinoa are my two big bugbears. Because vegans love avocado.
Well, why did you spit with your boyfriend then over it?
Don't put that on there. No, don't. He'll literally watch this.
Just for credits, how do you spell his name? What's it called?
Immaculate. Impressive.
Phenomenal. Class, innit? Next level.
Temptation's always in the mirror, seeing through my lies. You whisper softly in my ears, I'm craving you inside.
No. Oh! No! To the death.
Hi, Paul. Have you done your numbers? Have you done your numbers? Yeah, hydration. Alright. Get it in you. Just, got a minute. Just with this game, mate, I'm going to go in now at fullback. Alright? I've not no real specific reasons for it. All I'm going to say to you is that you'll get an opportunity to play at some point. You know, obviously that second game. Alright? So, just where I'm going to go first one. There's a good chance you'll play in that second one, mate. So, still keep working hard, all that usual. You've heard it all before, haven't you? Yeah. So, it's not to be disappointed, not to be off. Genuinely, I do think that you're somebody for the future. So, this game we're going to go in now. You'll get an opportunity that next one. That's between us.
No reason, though.
Not really, no, mate. Just a choice on this game, that's all. All right? Sweet.
There you go, Tom. One more sugar.
Absolutely amazing, that, thank you.
No sugar for you.
Yeah, no sugar.
Yeah, cheers, thank you.
Hey, Gemma Bloody says he's become a vegan.
Has he? We'll fall out then in that case.
How long ago was this?
I'm not talking about it, Tom.
Alright, okay, sorry.
It must be very recent if she's not talking about it.
Couple of Welsh accent that. Someone
I
them.
made you coffee, it doesn't mean we're friends.
Yeah, a bit more.
I want you to play like every second's the last second of the game. Yeah. So you out.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because your talent, I think we should expect more from you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I want more carries from you. I want more tackles. And the thing is that then more carries and more tackles can. Mate, I can go and still get 10 carries.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But when you do it, you do everything tough.
Yeah.
You hit to hurt and you run to bust.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Every time you do, you think being explosive.
Yeah.
Think one of the analogies I'll use is that if they want to tackle you, regardless of who you're playing, they should want to put their bodies on the line.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, if you have that mentality of going, right, I'm carrying it here, and if you want to stop me, good luck to you.
Yeah.
If you don't want to stop me, I'm going through you. And same defensively. Now, the systems and scenarios I understand that, we all understand that, don't we? But whenever you're in there, it's whack. And it's the same, it's the reverse mentality, isn't it, of, right, well, if you want to run at me, get ready to play the price.
Say R for me. Doesn't look like tonsillitis, and you're saying it doesn't feel like the tonsillitis you've had before.
Yeah.
So I think that's less likely. So which ear is causing you trouble?
Was it more this one?
That one. We'll look in the good ear first. Do you have trouble with your ears regular?
Not really, no.
Hey, just be straight with you. This first game, we won't play.
Yeah.
All right.
Understood.
But I'm not going to bring you all this way not to give you an opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm not way out guaranteeing it. I would like to give you an opportunity that second game.
Yeah.
Okay. Just with this first game and the environment and the conditions and stuff like that, the others have got a bit more experience on you.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
Do you understand?
I understand that. You know.
What I want you to have a real big think about, what I want you to see in practice from you, is like to see you doing some bits of stuff and just grabbing people. I want you to see you ripping onto this ball as hard as you can. And I want you to see just doing little things around marker and A. It's getting forward and staying square, not going out, keep your hips square and stuff like that. If you want some help and tips on that, that's fine. That's what we're here for. I'm just giving you some insights and I'd like you to see you lead it yourself as well. Does that make sense? Be angry, call me whatever name you want, I don't care.
But you do have some signs on that ear, which looks like behind the eardrum there's a little bit of an infection.
Yeah.
Again, could quite likely be a viral infection, but we want to turn you around quite quickly and we don't want you to get more unwell. So on that basis, I'd like to give you antibiotics.
Yeah.
Would that be all right with you?
That'll be fine, yeah.
Do you have any allergies?
No.
No.
The other thing for you as well, mate, is when we leave this as well, if you need help with things, just talk to us.
Yeah, I will.
All right?
Yeah.
All right, mate.
Thank you very much.
All
Cheers.
right,
Have you a quick look around, then we'll get you out in the water and see what you're made of out in the ocean.
Yeah, good to have a bit of day off. Obviously, we trained the last 2 days. Picked it up a little bit yesterday, so it's nice to spend a little time with the boys. Socialising and getting to know each other a little bit better. But yeah, it's been we've had a good laugh so far. First time down the Gold Coast, absolutely loved it. Obviously, we come here down to the surf club, and it's been class so far. Obviously, been out on the surfboards. I've never been bodyboarding before. It was very very tough. We all thought it was going to be easy when we went out there and initially saying, we'll be all right, but I think the boys found it a little bit tough and everyone's struggling at the minute. A few bumps and bruises from the boards a bit when we fell off.
Been a good day off, to be honest. We didn't expect to catch a few waves, So, a few lads give it a good go, and it's been class so far. We've got a few more hours here in Gold Coast, and then we're heading back to Brisbane, but there's plenty to do here, and the sunshine and the beach, and the sea's quite warm, the ocean, can't moan, can you? When you weigh 115 kilograms, it's a bit hard to balance, but there were a few times where you got, minced up in the wave, but no, it's good to try something new.
Brisbane had come to an end, and as well as our captain Jack Hughes, Paul Anderson had picked 2 more senior players in Sam Powell and Rob Malone. The senior leaders, I asked them what they thought of their stop in Brisbane and what they were all expecting from Papua New Guinea.
To be going into camp over there in between 2 tests is, it's going to be a big challenge from what I've been told and what I've heard. So, I'm really looking forward to it. And as I mentioned with the leadership thing, it's something hopefully I'm going to strive off. And I'm looking forward to the test out there, and I feel the group is. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting there.
Yeah, I think it's been class. The facilities we've had to use in Brisbane, and then
I think we get part of the day where we can mix with some school kids and play a bit of rugby maybe with them. So that'll be great in itself, and just seeing how they live, seeing how they go about day-to-day life, and obviously the mad crazy on rugby league. So that'll be good to see as well.
It's been good, I think it's going to be like a massive culture shock going over there. Because like you say, it's like a third world country, like there's facilities, and even like the city we're staying in now, it's
It's unbelievable, but yeah, it's been great so far. And, you know, sad to have to leave.
We had a day at Gold Coast on our day off the other day, so you know the group of us decided on our day off we'd stick together rather than doing our own individual thing. So for me, that side of it's been the most beneficial side of things. We've also got some quality, you know, rugby stuff out of it. A lot of good quality training. You know, being in this weather, you know, we're always going to get that. But for me, yeah, it's been really beneficial to get to know a lot of the players.
Like, I've never been to a third world country before, like you're saying. I'm just expecting, you know, dirt tracks, you know, not much like buildings going on, you know, sort of being a bit crazy, a bit chaotic. I'm sure whatever I can picture in my mind, it's just whatever I'm thinking, it's still going to absolutely blow my mind anyway. And you know, I'm really looking forward to the experience. And, you know, it probably make me feel a lot more grateful for everything I had back home after I see some of the sights over there.
Oh, that's it. Or eat. Yeah, or eat, mate. Yeah, I don't like that one. And on the flip side for you, man, I don't understand when we'll be going to training and one of the Yorkshire lads will say like, have you got us boots? Those boots? Don't get that.